Good morning, y'all. I was trying to wait until it got quiet out here. There was a trash truck and now there's people talking loud next door. Anyway, oh my. Brian said yesterday this is very noisy here, and I told him it wasn't, but maybe he's right. I just don't hear it all the time. Anyway, I thought I would give an update on the garden. Things are starting to bloom, and dahlias are starting to come up, and looks like I haven't lost any this year. Oh my. But anyway, we'll talk about that in just a minute. This is my very favorite rose. This is Alchemist, and I love it. It's about probably 10 years old. This year it got really hit hard from the last freeze that we had, but it's still performing. It's still beautiful, and next week when I do this, it should be more full bloom, but it's full of buds, and I do try to take care of it and train it onto this fence. It's done really well, and really it is just a beautiful rose. That's a rosemary I dug up because we were making room for the straw bale gardening and planted it there, and it seems like it might make. So that's good. Into the garden. We'll go in here and do a quick overview of these are dahlias. That is my dahlias from Fralick Farm from last year. So this is their second year. I'll just fertilize those and put a little bit of compost around them or something. But they're good, and I have more that I'm going to plant that way. So this will be a bed. The whole thing will be from Fralick Farms, which is good. These ranunculus and anemones are from Fralick Farms, and that's Melissa Smith. She is a great flower farmer. There's beans coming up. These are beds sitting ready, and I'm about to decide what to put in them. That's an artichoke, and then we had red roselle down there, and they're about 4 inches tall. So they'll be coming on. They're beautiful. They're fun, and I'll keep you up to date on those. The chives I still love, and y'all heard me say I found them at Williamsburg when I was 18 and just thought they were wonderful. This is beets. The whole bed there's 3 rows of beets, and I'm fixing to plant down the middle. I think I'm going to put peppers. I have several peppers. My seedlings don't look as good as I would like for them to look, but they're good enough, and so they're fixing to go in the ground starting today. These, I'm going to plant peas back there. This bed I'm not real sure of yet, but we'll figure it out. I transplanted all my daylily seedlings back there. They seem to be fine. And this is a tray of tomatoes and peppers I just brought out here. I chose them this morning. It's 8 different tomatoes that are going in this bed. I don't think there's ever been tomatoes grown in this bed, so hopefully there is not disease in the dirt, but we'll see. This is really pretty right here, the Byzantine Glads with the chives blooming. Parsley's going to seed, and my lettuce, oh my goodness, it's just beautiful. We had some of this lettuce last night for supper, and then this is arugula. Dill is back there. This is a stir fry, and more chives. I let the wheat go to seed here. I let it make wheat head so that I can use it in decorations in the fall. So let's walk up here, and that's a little sedum that is it's wonderful. You can't hurt it. If it touches the ground, it grows. This is the Byzantine Glads. Oh my goodness, I just do love them. Started out with 3. I think it's probably, I don't know how old that clump is. Maybe 10 years old. I don't know if it's that old. And I have a big bouquet of them that I picked, and they're in the house. So this is how many. They're a beautiful color. They're just really a standout in the garden this time of year. All right, and kind of an overview. Brian mowed last night, which is wonderful. Makes it so pretty. And here are the dahlias. And if you want to grow dahlias in southern hot temperatures, go for it, because you can do it. These are overwintered, and I'm almost embarrassed to say, I think I have 25 new ones that are not in the ground yet So I'm going to be making places for them. I'm going to have to find room. I bought some in case I lost them, you know, but it looks like this winter was not too harsh, because I'm seeing almost every single one come back up. Here's one, a tiny, I thought I had lost this one, but there it comes. This is Cafe au lait Royale. I don't know how to pronounce it very well, but that's it. That's good enough. And even Myrtle's Brandy, that didn't do very good last year, has decided to come back up this year. Dahlias are a mystery. Just grow them. And that's a Cafe au lait right there that I pulled the whole thing up, dug it up, because it sat there and never bloomed, and pulled it up, and it must have had a tuber left, because there it grows. Here's the other bed, and these are all coming to life. This will be just filled with flowers just in a few short weeks before you even know it. Here's the eucalyptus. I just experiment with it. And there they are. We'll net them not quite yet, in about a month. Here's that rose again. I don't know if you can see. Okay, I want to take you up here and show you one thing in this flower bed that's mostly a weed bed. This is proof that when you start a flower bed, you need to really get all the grass and everything out before you plant, because it has just been nothing but trouble. And I don't know why we have so many weeds. It seems like everybody in this area, their weeds are here in our yard. So, that is a rose. We call it Granny. The real name of it is Aloha. I rooted that from Brian's grandmother's house. And now I have about 5, I think. It's just very faithful and very beautiful, very fragrant. And this is what I wanted to show y'all. Here are the peonies. This one was in the house, in the yard when we bought the house, and I didn't even know what it was. And I kept watching it, and then after we'd been here a year or so, it bloomed, and I was so surprised, because I didn't know you could grow peonies. But yes, you can. And I bought, here's a peony that I bought. It's red, and it hasn't bloomed yet. It's been sitting there with buds. Hopefully it will bloom and they won't fall off. Here's another rose. This is another Granny rose, and there's Baptisia that I love. And it is just very, very hardy. It just keeps blooming. The fence, I think it's ugly, but I have to do it to keep the dogs from tearing up the peonies so that I can get the blooms. And irises, wow, they have spread. Here, I didn't mean for them to get that. See, there's there's Lily back there. They love this flower bed. Then here are the Queen Anne's lace is starting to bloom, the bachelor buttons, and we have blueberries. I hardly ever get any. Even when they make, the birds get most of them. But this year there's a lot on that, so maybe I'll get some. Anyway, there's my deodar cedar I grew from seed. Knockout roses, and then we have rosemary. Let me span around here. Probably too quick, but we still have bachelor buttons growing in the yard because I want them to reseed. Brian cut down some of them last night, and there's the table and chairs. I see they have been rearranged by my dear husband, so I'll go and fix them, make them right. Okay, ginkgo tree. Then there is a red crepe myrtle. Here is an overview from up here. There's my little garden spot down there. So this is the last week in April, and I have my watchdog with me, Lily, that has a mind of her own. So this is Mona from Winterpast.